Attention passionate Washington Commanders fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Washington Commanders' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Washington Commanders fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRINDS, and Washington Commanders FANS. Let's get to the news now, folks. If you've been paying attention to the NFL chatter lately, you've probably heard some wild rumors swirling around the Washington Commanders and the San Francisco 49ers. Yeah, I know it sounds like something out of a fantasy football draft, but there's real smoke here, and it could turn into a blazing fire. The buzz is that the Commanders are exploring a blockbuster trade for none other than George Kittle, the star tight end of the 49ers. And if this deal goes down, it could be a game changer, not just for Washington, but for the entire NFC landscape. Let's start by setting the scene. The Commanders, as we all know, have been in a bit of a rebuild mode, especially after a rough 4-10 record this season. Their offense has shown flashes, but it's clear they need an injection of elite talent to really take that next step. With that in mind, the rumors suggest that Washington is looking to make a bold move, and Kittle is front and center in those discussions. The 49ers, on the other hand, are in a different situation. They're sitting at 9-5, still in the playoff hunt, but they're also facing some salary cap constraints, about $45 million in cap space for 2026, and they're trying to find ways to relieve some of that financial pressure. Sources indicate that the 49ers are open to trading Kittle in exchange for a second-round pick and a conditional fourth-round pick. This isn't just about getting rid of a player, it's about strategic roster management. San Francisco has been prioritizing extensions for their young stars like Brock Purdy, who's been sensational this season with a PFF grade of 88. 2. And Nick Bosa, who's a dominant force on the defensive front. With Kittle's contract and age, he's 32 now, they might see this as the right moment to pivot towards youth, especially as the team looks to maintain its competitive edge in the coming years. Kittle's career has been nothing short of legendary. Over his NFL tenure, he's amassed 456 receiving yards and 45 touchdowns, making him one of the most productive tight ends in league history. His PFF grade, which currently sits at a career-high 84. 5 reflects his elite blocking and receiving ability. And it's not just about stats. Kittle's impact on the field is undeniable. He averages 2 yards per route run, with a season-high YAC, yards after catch, of around 200 yards. In 2025, he's been leading the tight end position with an impressive 912 yards and 8 touchdowns, catching 65 yards per game and commanding a target share of about 28%. His efficiency numbers are stellar, around 4 yards per route run, and he maintains a catch rate of 68.1% with an average depth of target of 2 yards. Basically, he's a reliable matchup nightmare who can stretch the field and create yards after the catch. Now, here's where it gets interesting for the Commanders. Adding Kittle could be exactly what this offense needs to elevate to the next level. Currently, Washington's passing yards per game hover around 185, but with Kittle in the mix, projections suggest that number could jump to around 240 yards per game. That's a significant boost, and it's not just about the raw numbers. Kittle's ability to run precise routes, especially against zone defenses, could lead to an 18% increase in EPA, expected points added per target. That means more efficient drives, more scoring opportunities, and ultimately more wins. Plus, his presence would complement the already talented receivers like Jahan Dotson and Terry McLaurin, giving quarterback Sam Howell a reliable security blanket in the middle of the field. And let's not forget the run game. Washington's rushing attack, led by a Harris-like back averaging around 4.6 yards per carry, would benefit from the extra blocking and attention Kittle demands from defenses. He's a top-tier blocker, ranked first in PFF's grading for tight ends at 85.9, which means he's not just a receiving threat but a key piece in the run-blocking scheme. That balance could help the Commanders become a more well-rounded offense, keeping defenses honest and opening up more opportunities for big plays. Defensively, the Commanders have been a bit underwhelming, allowing about 28 points per game. But with a move like acquiring Kittle, they would gain an added element of balance and stability. Think about it. Kittle's ability to keep drives alive, especially in clutch moments, could give the defense more time to rest and reset. It's reminiscent of the impact that the Kels trade had on the Kansas City Chiefs back in 2025, boosting their aerial attacks significantly. And for the Commanders, that could translate into a more potent, explosive team capable of competing at the highest level. Now, the implications for the playoff picture are huge. Right now, the odds of Washington making a deep run are in the plus 15-0 range, which isn't promising. But if they pull off this trade and integrate Kittle seamlessly, those odds could jump all the way to plus 5-0, meaning a real shot at making some noise in January. Kittle's performance in cold weather, where he's posted an impressive 82. 3 PFF grade in playoff-like conditions could be the X factor that propels the Commanders into the postseason and beyond. His experience and leadership are invaluable, especially in high-pressure moments. Looking ahead to 2026, this move could be part of a bigger plan. With the salary cap freed up by trading Kittle, the Commanders would have around $72 million in cap space. That kind of flexibility opens the door for them to target elite defensive linemen or other key stars to complement their offense. It's a smart, strategic move that could turn Washington into a legitimate contender, echoing the Gronk-led Patriots dynasties of the past. Meanwhile, the 49ers would be moving into a slow transition phase, focusing on youth and rebuilding their roster. They'd get future draft capital and could focus on developing their young tight ends or other offensive weapons. But let's also consider the flip side. The 49ers might see Kittle as a luxury now that Ayuk is emerging as a top-tier receiver with an impressive PFF score of 89.0. They could prioritize developing their younger players and maintaining cap flexibility for future extensions. Still, for the Commanders, this is an opportunity to strike while the iron is hot. They've been wanting that elite tight end to help stabilize the offense and take some pressure off Howell. Kittle's leadership, combined with his production, could be exactly what they need to push into the playoffs and make a serious run. So what does this mean for the fans? Well, it's exciting. It's bold. It's exactly the kind of move that shows Washington is serious about competing now. If they manage to pull this off, it's not just about adding a player. It's about signaling to the rest of the league that the Commanders are back in the game, ready to challenge the NFC's best. It's about rewriting the narrative, turning the page from underdog to contender, and giving the fans something to believe in. We've seen moves like this change the course of franchises before, and if Washington lands Kittle, it could be the start of a new chapter filled with hope, excitement, and hopefully a trip to the Super Bowl. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest Washington Commanders news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Washington Commanders fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential blockbuster? Do you think Kittle can be the missing piece to push us into true contender status? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion really matters to us and to the team. Remember, I'll be back soon with even more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Washington Commanders news. The offseason is heating up, and with moves like this, the future looks brighter than ever. Let's go, Commanders.